The most central issue for cities is to take advantage of their possibility to be a transport solution themselves, provide very, very close immediate access, walking trips, cycle trips, and then also through public transport by, in some ways, in those cities that have excessively motorized, shift people back into those far greener modes, and in cities where you have massive motor vehicle growth at the moment, trying to bring that at least a bit down in terms of the growth rates. Why? That's hugely inefficient and interferes with some of the key assets cities have, and that is sociability, creating in these urban communities, whether they are residential, mixed use, or indeed more business oriented, creating in the public space opportunities for exchange, getting to know each other, to gossip, and to take advantage of that physical proximity. The pressure is on urban transport to help with three main strategies which need to come together. The first is avoid transport wherever possible by co-locating functions, making better use of distributing the functions in a city. A second one is shift as much as possible towards greener, more environmentally friendly modes. That's where your public transport agenda kicks in, walking and cycling as well. And then finally, those sort of trips you cannot shift, make them cleaner. There are a few very important examples, and I'll start with one in Latin America, Bogota, a city where in the early 2000s you had, through sort of innovative mayoral leadership, implementation of what's called BRT, Bus Rapid Transit, which allowed to basically run bus service at relatively low cost, but with capacity levels which we know from tube or underground systems. We have been seeing over the last 5 to 10 years the scaling of a whole range of new technologies on the one hand, but also new policies that are shifting the way people move in cities, not only in OECD country cities or sort of more mature developing emerging economy cities, but also for the poorest cities in the world. Rickshaws in India are now being taken far more serious as they used to be before the idea was to ban them. I do recognize that in certain areas, both policy and the market is a bit behind of what consumers are actually wanting to do. I'm mentioning the consumer because when it comes to then sort of more specific policy intervention, consumer, or let's use much better terms, sort of citizens, civil society, they have been a key actor for turning around sort of the status quo of how we do transport in cities. And this started in the 60s and 70s with the first big critiques regarding a model of, in some ways, totally motorizing cities, building highways through the center of London, building highways through the center of Berlin, the center of Manhattan. These things have been objected initially by local residents, by sort of activists on the ground, and over the last 30-40 years have really translated into a considerable change in attitude, in what we want from our policymakers, and also in behavior on the ground.